The Accenture Primers. Yeah, for a lot of people, they're this huge, scary hurdle. But what if I told you there's a clear, efficient way to not just pass, but to get a top-tier score? Well, that's exactly what we're going to do right now. We're going to break down the blueprint for success.
So it really all comes down to this one big question, right? How do you take just a couple of hours of study a day, something totally manageable, and turn it into a result that's truly impressive? I know, it sounds a little too good to be true, but trust me, it's totally possible. And this is what we're talking about. 18 out of 20. Wow. And look, this isn't some made-up hypothetical number. This is a real score, achieved using the exact method we're about to walk through. It's proof positive that you don't have to lock yourself away and study 24/7 to absolutely crush it. And really, this is the whole philosophy in a nutshell. The entire strategy is about one thing: shifting how you think about studying. You got to forget about those marathon brute force study sessions. The secret isn't about putting in more hours. Nope. It's about working smarter, making every single minute count. Okay, so let's bust some myths, shall we? Because that's what this is all about. This idea that you have to study all day long or pay for some fancy coaching, it's just not true. It's a total myth. The reality? It's all about focused, consistent effort every single day. And, more importantly, really understanding the patterns of the exam. That's the real secret sauce.
So, okay, how do you actually do this? How do you put this work smarter idea into action? Well, we've broken it down into a super clear 3-step blueprint. Think of this as your game plan, your tactical guide to getting that high score.
All right, so here are the 3 big pillars of this whole strategy. First, we're going to talk about using DUMPS, but using them intelligently. Second, you've got to master the quizzes. And third, it's all about that final crucial revision. So let's dive into each one.
Okay, so first things first, what in the world are primer dumps? Basically, they're just collections of old or sample questions from the exam. But here's the key. The real value isn't just giving you the answers. No way. It's about showing you the logic behind the questions, the format they use, and the patterns that keep popping up again and again.
And this just says it all, doesn't it? DUMPS can be an absolute lifesaver, but, and this is a huge but, only if you know how to use them the right way. It's all about the how.
All right, step 1, using those dumps intelligently. Let's get tactical. Your goal here is not to just memorize the answers. That is the biggest mistake you could make. Seriously. Instead, you need to be a detective. Focus on the logic. Ask yourself, okay, why is this the right answer? How are they framing this question? Once you start seeing those patterns emerge, you know you're getting it. All right, moving on to step 2, mastering the quizzes. Now, so many people skip the pre and post quizzes. That is a huge mistake. They are an absolutely incredible tool. They get you completely dialed in on the exam's format and timing. The strategy is simple, but man, is it powerful. Do every single quiz for your stream, and then do them all again, a second time. This builds so much confidence and makes it all feel second nature. And that brings us to the final piece of the puzzle. Step 3, the power of revision. Think of this as the final push. It's where you take everything you've learned and really lock it in. The day before the primer is not the time to learn new stuff. It's all about cementing what's already in your brain. So you're going to go through your notes, run through those dumps one last time, and really focus on the questions that gave you the most trouble. That final review, that's what separates a good score from a great one.
Okay, so we've covered the 3 big steps. Now let's boil it all down into one simple, powerful takeaway that you can start using right away.
And here it is, the winning formula. It's not magic, you guys. It's just a solid method. Let's run through it. Study with focus, 2 to 3 hours a day. That's it. Use dumps to find the patterns, not just to memorize answers. Practice all of the pre and post quizzes twice. And dedicate that final day to a full-on revision. That's it. That's the whole game plan. So there you have it. That's the entire strategy for getting a top score. The blueprint is clear, the steps are totally doable, and we know it works. So, really, there's only one question left to ask. What's your next move?